So basically, I'm just pointing out that if you know what is going on, not only globally and in England and in Ireland, if you have watched certain videos, for example, like the anonymous video on BlackRock Vanguard, who owns these contractors that are all employed by the government, who owns the private contractors and builders in both Ireland and England and globally, they are literally all owned by the same people, by the same investors. Therefore, they've all been orchestrated into action. Now, some of these contractors that are working for Highways England, wanting to dig this hole under Stonehenge Tunnel, all these JCB as well, Global, and the rest of them, all of the contractors use JCBs, all of the contractors are getting approval by councils. A lot of the ministers have got investments in these companies and so forth, and in the oil that they get the oil for these construction vehicles from. In Southern Ireland, the government, unfortunately, has given in to the building trade and contractors, passing all these laws. So if you're building 400 houses, you don't need planning permission. Who builds these houses? Who puts permission in for it? The people who've got all the money. Not you, not me. No, who's got the money? The money is the investors, the developers. I mean, even you too are known for building apartment blocks and houses abroad. If that ain't an advertisement that it's okay to do it. So with the Glen Druid dolmen threatened by Cairn Homes, there was a massive campaign to try and stop that, ruining the Dolmen Valley in the area. All through Ireland, all the highways projects, all the contractors using the JCBs, making profits, making the roads, making profits. Perth Bridge in Scotland, going through ancient site where they're doing archaeology. It's all one orchestrated operation now from the corporate private sector. We have to, for a moment, look away from just Irish ancient sites for a minute, because we have to look at where is all this coming from. Follow the wool, follow the thread to where it's all coming from. It's all been orchestrated by the government's transport, highway department's policies. All of these contractors are it's one entity, literally like the Roman army, but not coming and attacking with shields. They're coming with development projects and road projects, and you can't stop them. People can't stop them here. People can't stop them in Ireland. There's no objections that are valid because people are objecting all over and they're just getting knocked back, knocked aside. So it's one movement. And a lot of people, if you start watching programs like Neil Oliver on YouTube, Richard Vobes on YouTube, people don't want to lose the ancient sites, the culture, the countryside. And a lot of people actually didn't ask for or want a lot of these road projects. And even when they try and oppose them, they can't. Now, the ironic thing about Ireland, the shot in the foot or the joke in the barrel is that, and I think this is more significant than anything, in my opinion, because it's really taking the mick out of Irish people, is that, well, it's Irish government. The Irish government have sided with this international global entity, and then they've made it so even to observe what they're doing, to enter an observation. Oh, I'm going to make an observation. What are you up to? What are you up to? For you even to officially submit an observation. Oh, nothing to see here, Irishman. Get along with your life. Get back to work. Nothing to see here. You mind your own business, Irishman. Don't worry what's going on these roads, motorways or ancient sites. You mind your own business. Because we're the construction company. We've got automatic permission with our money on the table, right? Don't need to look over here. 20 euros to have a look. 20 euros to have an interest, to even submit a documentation, to have a pair of eyeballs. Now, if that ain't some Murphy's Law innuendo over the whole Irish Kelly thing, Kelly's got to pay 20 euros now to even look, right? Because Murphy's Law prevails. It is significant. It is important because the meaning, the symbology, all these things, the words they use, like the new Moderna factory for the virus sweeping across, the unstoppable viruses, we will all have to comply with the WHO, World Health Organization, as it sweeps across. We will all be swept into compliance. Call them thing Moderna. We're knocking out virus vaccines. We'll call it Moderna. And when this comes, you're going to have it whether you like it or not. Right? 400 home apartment blocks, motorways, highways. We're going modern. It's sweeping across whether you like it or not. There's power in the words they choose. There is a cause and effect behind it. And there is a purpose for them choosing these words and naming things, because it gives power to them. Our ancient heritage site here, we've got two hill forts. In 1954, one was built on exactly around the same time as the Queen's coronation, and there was no archaeology there, no recognition or anything. Just been literally covered up and hidden and forgotten about. And then just before that, they banged the Imperial Chemical Industries right in the entrance to the valley where the ancient site is. And then there's King George popping up, signing the opening day in his military uniform. I've done all the investigation for it. The royals here, particularly, and with all the, all the whole Mountbatten thing as well, it's still ongoing, and they don't like celebrating, partying about Irish names and culture or Celtic names and culture. It's not their heritage. It's not their ancestors. It's not their heritage. It's not their past. They came over, conquered. They celebrate their own legacy, their own knights, their own bishops, their own conquest, their own family, their own lands, gardens, estates. They have to make it look like they're doing some sort of heritage preservation in their royal societies. They don't like celebrating it. They don't like teaching us really about it, because anytime you celebrate it or make it out, it can't be better or bigger than the royals. And that is what I have learned in England from what they've done to our ancient sites, but what they're doing to the people, getting us all with fines, getting us all with cameras, the surveillance. Then there's all the new research that all these top leading doctors are putting in with the food they've been selling us. We've come to a crescendo now with Robert F. Kennedy and Mary Ann Williamson against this industrial military complex. And that's Charles, right? And BlackRock Vanguard. And he won't show who owns it. And we have to talk about it because we want to know who is behind the ancient sites being encroached upon. They can't make it too obvious, right? They have to go make it look like it's another reason. Oh, tank practice on Sisbury Ring Hill Fort in the war. Oh, we're just putting a tunnel under Stonehenge, a bypass. Yeah, it's penetrating the landscape. It's symbolic. Why have a ceremony? Why have a religious ceremony? If there ain't anything more ceremonial and religious than drilling a big hole and screwing and taking the World Heritage status away from Stonehenge, how does that affect far over in Ireland? Well, it does, because who is the company and who owns that company and who owns the other ones and who's supplying them with the JCBs and who owns that and who's making the money out of it and how are they getting the money to do the projects in the first place? if you can't see it is one big sweeping force, army, corporate entity, then you really don't know what is actually going on. And at least now we've got people talking about it. Kennedy is even Irish as well. But the thing with Biden was over in Ireland celebrating, but Biden is the equivalent of an Irish royalist, not of an Irish, a true Irish, which Kennedy is against the industrial military complex. I have had to learn about this. They don't teach you in school because they don't want us to know about it. You know, we've got the beautiful Dragon Hill Fort near Exeter, the Hembury Cross Hill Fort. You know, it is a huge thing which people don't talk about, brushed under the carpet, yet, you know, they use the entire flag for Wales as the dragon, to just some form of remembrance, but they don't get people interested in it. You know, Howard Crowhurst now is doing all the research and study. He's linking all these sites together over great distances. These sites, Newgrange, here, Stonehenge, it is one network. It is not some tribes who are disconnected and warring and dislocated and this and that. It is absolute precision, intended measurements over great distances with astronomy and longitude and latitude perfectly aligning these sites for different times of the year, for different astronomical events. The recumbent circles and Stonehenge and Newgrange, on all of the sites are a network. They mapped the whole lands and set fixed sites to speak to us, to communicate that, to remember these calculations they'd done. Over 1,000 years before the Romans, before the ancient Greeks, before Pythagoras, we had an extremely advanced mathematics, which Howard Crowhurst has got in his videos on YouTube if you want to watch it, and his other videos, you know, the Temple of the Sun at Stonehenge, and the recumbent stone circles in Ireland are for the moon. They travelled between these sites at different times of the year. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. They were on the move travelling round. And, you know, if you don't believe that, then, you know, it's really, it's kind of official now anyway. But at the moment, you know, people are only kind of just starting to wake up out of the brain fog. And, you know, if we can't start talking about it across between the groups, then people aren't going to wake up, you know. And, you know, this is the thing. This is why Robert F. Kennedy is all about free speech. Yet all these groups, you know, press it, you know, all the group, they go, it's all locked down, you know, permission to speak, sir, permission to post, sir, you know, will this post be approved? Everything's locked like blockchain. You know, even on these ULEZ groups now we've got, you can't even post stuff when you're on the side that you're supporting. It's literally, they've got us. We are, you know, I don't know how they've managed to dupe us into it, but we really need to take a step back and check what is going on, you know, because they've got us, you know, the rights and liberties have been, they're gone at the moment, you know. Zuckerberg, Musk and Gates and these other people on these platforms, they've just, you know, have a black controller, have a control panel, have a button, have a keyboard. They've got people liking these power and controls, but yet we are all subject now to this hierarchical order. We can't stop we're not able to stop half of these things being built or put through. They're actually charging us now to even, you know, what business of it is ours? What business of it is yours there? Mind your own business there. Mind your own business there. Don't be looking at what I'm doing. There's 20 euros, mind your own business. Don't be making any observations of what I'm doing here. You get back to work there. I am building here. I got all the money. I'm the developer with my JCB. You know, who are these people? oh, bang, bang, you know, a cinema, where's your McDonald's, there's your Burger King, there's your KFC, there's your Subway, I'm on my way to Tipperary, it's a long way to Cork, what's it going to be there when I get to Cork, all this way on the new highway, where you can have a Subway and a new McDonald's and have a couple of whiskies at Murphy's Bar, you know, well, actually, I went all the way down there to see the ancient site, so what's left of them, you know, this is the thing, all these corporate things have been built in other things now that have been harming us, health. This, you know, are you even watching, you know, like, you know, Dr. John Campbell and, you know, Eric Berg, you know, all these major doctors now, all this gut bacteria is being killed off. The sperm count since the war has halved, you know, literally, never mind potato famine, they are literally annihilating us with their army, and it is in disguise, and it is using development and industrialization to take us all out. You know, even if you're a builder, you won't be needed soon because we'll all be replaced by robot builders and androids. So, you know, hide and enjoy Ireland while you can. And, you know, if free speech even still exists, that's why, you know, I'm supporting Robert F. Kennedy. But I really don't think that people in Ireland actually have properly woken up yet to what's going on. They need to, though.